get done by 7:30 to get on the meeting at 7:30. Cause I didn't really want to have to move meeting times and all that stuff. So welcome to 6 Weeks to Success week 4. So you're halfway there. No, we're not living on a prayer. We're doing what we need to do. Okay. That's what we're doing. So I thought that was kind of funny. If anybody noticed this, I don't know, maybe you guys can't see the waiting room, but if you see anybody else, let me know. Okay. You learned that you've got to increase what we've learned so far. So you've learned that we've got to increase your product knowledge in order to maximize your sales and your bookings. You learned that your belief decides what you believe you can and cannot do, and that your brain can be retrained. You've learned how to talk to people out and about and how to book parties at your shows and words to say to both. You've learned about that your passion shines through and can completely influence purchases and bookings at parties. You've learned that you have to host coach effectively to keep your sales high, your bookings at every party, and a constant pool of leads. You've learned that skills will make a huge difference in every party. And when you know your products, you can sell your products. When you know what to say, you know how to respond to objections and turn maybes into yeses. And when you tweak your host coaching skills, you have much bigger parties and much better results. Host coaching is where you earn your paycheck, and at the party is where you pick it up. So did you guys have any questions about host coaching? Or did anybody make any videos for host coaching like we talked about, how you could do it in a video format? Anybody? No? Nobody gave that a try? Okay.
No, like we talked earlier, I thought I was gonna do a video tomorrow about because I have 2 parties going on right now about the Say Yes 25.
Yep. That's a good idea. So are you guys scared to make a video about it, like to do for host coaching? No, I'm trying to look.
I am not scared. I guess I just don't know the process. That'd be something I'd be interested in doing though. I just need time to do it too.
Basically, Crystal, it's just taking your host coaching outline, but talking to the camera and saying it in a video versus just typing it up to your host.
Are you putting it on like YouTube or something? So then it's just one you always are sending, each day?
That I don't do it. So I haven't done it myself. So I did it a long time ago. And yes, I didn't do it. Did I do it to YouTube? I think I had to. Have, or no, maybe I just shared it from my phone. I might have just shared it in a message on my phone, because it was probably like, I bet like 3 or 4 years ago that I did it. So I've gotten out of the habit of doing that. Sarah does a lot of voice. Are you still doing a lot of voice clips though, Sarah?
Yeah, I do a lot of voice clips.
Yeah, she's
just
better.
Quicker, but it just depends on, if you're giving them words and a picture, then, you almost have to type it up, because you're making it easy for them to copy and paste it.
Right.
But if it's just like a task, like, go in and tag a few friends today, that kind of stuff, you could do video or just voice. But I actually have been I use a lot of voice at the beginning, so they hear my voice and my excitement of their party coming up. And when I was I feel like I recruit easier when I'm talking. When I'm talking versus typing.
I think that you're right, because people, like you said, they hear your excitement, they hear your tone. Tone is so huge for that. That's why voice clips can be super, effective that way. So thanks, Sarah. So Crystal, but that's basically it. But right, like Sarah said, like if they need to cut and paste something, it's easier. And that's kind of like when we had a more formatted host coaching outline, then that was kind of when I was like, I'm ditching we didn't have really good host coaching to begin with virtual parties when we first started doing them. It was a few, like Sarah's shaking her head. She's like, we did not. So it took a long time. And I think it was just like the fruition of kind of how things went in the virtual world. Like we kind of were like living on the edge a little bit and kind of doing a little bit of it. And then COVID, it really really put us into the motion of we have to do it this way. It just became the thing. So yeah. So like, if anything, start with the voice clip so they can hear the tone in your voice.
How do you do the voice clip? Is that on Messenger?
Yeah.
Or just
So
on
if
your
you're
phone?
so if you're on Messenger, and you're like, you have like I just happen to have, I don't know, can you guys see it? I just happen to have like Domini's open. See how there's a little microphone next to it? Like there's where you'd add a picture. Can you guys see? I can't tell here. Hold on.
Yeah, I just pulled up my phone. I can see what you're talking about.
Yeah. So see like
I
how
can't
there's
see it on yours.
the little microphone right there.
Yep.
You would
Yep.
click on that and then it will record you. And then
Okay.
they just click on it and message it. I'll send you one like when we're done tonight.
Okay, yeah.
Just so you can kind of
Yeah.
see how it works. Okay.
Perfect. Thanks.
Yep. All right. Okay, let's go. Hi guys that are just jumping on. We're just talking about a little bit about host coaching from last week. Okay, so today we're going to discuss recruiting. Okay. Recruiting is just a conversation, is what I like to say. There's not a perfect thing you could say to someone who is interested. And there's nothing really wrong you could say to someone who is going to sign. You're just helping that potential consultant decide if this is something for them. Okay, so here are the basics. Post about joining your team about 3 to 5 times in your party and share the new Say Yes to the Apron video. If you guys haven't seen it, it's really great and it's in marketing imagery. I think if you just type in Say Yes, it'll pop up. Keep an ongoing lead list for potential recruits. Leave open-ended invitations and build relationships, asking things like no, not now, or no, not ever. That one's a really good one because then it's going to really instill that you're serious about the question that you're asking them. Add potential recruits. I'm going to still call it the Winterfest group. We're going to be doing some more with that down the road. So you can add people to that group right now. We're going to keep it updated with like host specials and stuff like that, because we do have to keep the interaction going. But if you were a part of Winterfest, if you weren't a part of, you guys should have that group still. But if you weren't a part of Winterfest, talk to your director about that and we can kind of fill you in more about that. Make sure that you tell your why, sharing your story and sharing from the heart throughout the party of why you love your job. Make and post a video with the hashtag #SayYesPC for saying yes to the apron. That's kind of a thing that home office is really kind of wanting us all to do right now, is making a video of that. And I am going to show my friend Cheryl. Some of the girls on the team know her already. You guys, some of you might know her. She had to make one like for the very first day of March to post. So I'll just show hers during the team meeting part so you can kind of get an idea of how simple it can really be about just sharing your story. Recruiting in your first 90 days is the only time that Pampered Chef offers cash bonuses. And you will receive a $100 cash bonus for each recruit that qualifies with $12.15 commissionable sales in their first 90 days. You will also receive a $50 Pampered Chef, 50 Pampered Chef dollars in addition, and you will get 50 Pampered Chef dollars for recruits that qualify after your 90 days. Oh shoot, I gotta move this thing. I can't see it. Fast track to director. We want to share this with you, not to intimidate you, but we don't want you to leave money on the table. You can earn up to $3,000 in cash bonuses by fast tracking to director.
Kelly, they also get the steak knives.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
steak knives, right? Is it still steak knives?
Yeah. Well, it was, unless it just changed.
Did it? I was going to say, I just wanted to look at that. I have that graphic. I'm like, did it change or is it still steak knives? I think you're right. I have it on the slide for the meeting tonight too. I don't see it on the bottom of that thing anymore. But well, there might be something else that you can get there too. I just want to double check because now I'm like, is it still that?
Was that just a bonus that they were doing for a little bit? I thought that
think
was
it-
something else that they added.
I think it was just for a little bit.
Oh, okay.
I think it was because it's not at the bottom of the one thing like this. And let me
Oh,
just double check. Yeah, or yeah, or if you could, yeah. So well,
is there anybody in the waiting room? Patty says that she's trying to get on.
oh, I thought I let her in. Hold on. I might have to stop sharing for a second here to see my bottom of my screen. I thought I let her in. Yeah, she's in. She's at the bottom of my screen. Can she hear me now? Maybe that was before I let her in.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, I can
I
see
just
you
think-
guys. Can you see me?
No, I can't see your picture right now.
Yeah, I don't know why it's not showing up. I just wanted to make sure I was on.
Yep, you are. Did you push your camera at the bottom left corner?
Probably not.
That's okay. And it's not a big deal if you
Yeah.
have the camera off too, Patty. No big deal. So
That's okay because I don't look very good right now.
no problem. No problem. Okay, so this is for Fast Track. Promote to director in your first 90 days and you get a $500 cash bonus. When you're paid as director for 3 months following your promotion, you get a $500 cash bonus. When you promote to advanced director in your first 6 months, you will receive a $1,000 bonus. This one too, I always like to mention, even if you don't promote to director in your first 90 days, but in the meantime, you do that and then promote to advanced director within 6 months, you can still get that bonus. So it's really cool how that works. When you are paid as an advanced director for the next 3 months, then you'll receive another $1,000. So you could get up to $1,000 in cash bonuses. So that's pretty awesome. Like I said, not to freak anybody out, but it's the only time they give you cash bonuses. So it's pretty cool. Okay. Oops. Why is it doing that? It said paused for some reason. There we go. Maybe not there. Okay. Can you see it again now? Oh my gosh. They did an update and it's doing weird things. There's all these weird apps on the side of my screen and everything. Okay. So. Why is it giving me a poll to create? I have no idea. Oh my gosh. Hold on. Can you see that where it says polls? Or is that just me?
I don't see anything about
Okay,
polls.
I see it now. I got it. I got it cleared. I have no idea what happened. Okay, so ask your host 5 times, and actually we're going to say 6. I'm going to tell you that in a little bit here. Be sure you talk about the kit credit amount that is available to your hosts before they claim their host rewards. Send consultant connection emails when there's a really good special or a reason to share the business. Maybe text me if you want more information. So here's info that you can give out to them. And I want you guys to kind of think about too, our incentives are like above and beyond what the kits are, and the kits in themselves are awesome kits. So you shouldn't always be thinking about recruiting just because there's a special. Like it's always a good time to join Pampered Chef. The kits and the Fast Track rewards, they're amazing. It's just it's a nice bonus when you've got something like we have this month with the 25% off discount. So you can encourage people to, put a little post out there and say, like, text me if you want information and try to create that interaction. Invite to different trainings that we have. I know that's not always doable for people that live far away, but like we do recipe night sometimes, and you're always, welcome to invite a guest to things like that. Because then we can answer questions right there in person, and then they can kind of see how we interact as a team. There's also the Pampered Chef webinars that are offered this weekend. As a matter of fact, they're going to have National Meet Pampered Chef. So that's going to be like 70 different consultants, I think, are going to be like speaking at it and sharing just lots of amazing information. But those Pampered Chef Meet Me webinars are offered every single month. So that's something too, that if you have an interested person, you can always invite them to those. Text or email your host a thank you note along with what they would have made if they were a consultant. There is the thank you email that's in consultant it's in the host coaching tab in Consultant Connection under your party. Has anybody ever sent that, or does anybody use those letters in there? I'm trying to look to see if anybody's.
Can you say where that is again?
So if you, the area where you enter your party information, like your host name and the date of the party and stuff, in that spot, then there's the 3 tabs at the top, like one says host coaching, one says guests, stuff like that, where you get like your links for your party and stuff. If you click that host coaching tab, under there's a whole bunch of host coaching letters that you can use. Do you know where I'm talking about, Crystal?
I have not seen that. I will look now.
Okay, yeah. So if you bring up your party, like to the area where like your links would be and where you enter the host information, yeah, after it's all entered and saved, open that up. Do you go to that ever? Like to grab the link or anything like that?
Yeah, I know right where you're talking.
Yep, click on host coaching and there's a whole bunch of information. And that's,
Okay.
you can use any of that stuff that's in there, there's a lot of really good information. Or even if you want to kind of take some pieces from that and send it in your own version, you can do it that way too. But that stuff is there for you. There is in the thank you email, though, it does talk about if you would have been a consultant, you could have made, blank, blank, blank at this party. Sometimes people seeing that visual number of what somebody could have made at a show is really, it sticks to them. So yeah, so under the host coaching tab.
Is that something that you could give them before as well? No.
You mean like host
never
coaching
mind.
letters?
Yeah.
There is.
Never mind.
Okay. No problem, James. I think I know what you're thinking, but yeah, you can't.
Yeah, but yeah, you couldn't have even done that because you're having the party and they haven't even signed up. So
right.
I answered my own question.
Well, right. And then too, you don't want to give them a false lead on, you want to be realistic to what their show was with kind of the numbers. And you can be, it can be a little tricky with giving numbers like that too, because you want to make sure, not everybody's going to make the same at the beginning. You know what I mean? Somebody might grow really fast. So it's still, usually good to say like, consultants usually make about $100 a show when they first get started. That's kind of typical. So, so how do you know what to say? It's actually pretty easy. There is the big ask.
Kelly, can I just say something really quick though?
Yeah, go ahead, sir.
So in that same spot that Kelly was just telling you guys about in that host coaching though, there is a virtual host packet that you can give your host. And I believe there is something that talks about the business. So just a little heads up there.
Is that, I haven't looked at that part in a long time, Sarah. Is it the same as the digital host packs? Or is it?
Well, I mean, that's basically what it is. Digital, virtual, whatever. Yeah.
Okay.
Call it.
Yes.
Yep, they're all the same.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And
It's right in that host coaching where you can copy the link and just send it.
Yes. That too, if you're not using those, it's, the only thing that it doesn't really have in it is it doesn't have like an outside order form. I haven't been worrying about that too much though, because I want people just to be ordering online as much as possible. It's just so much easier for everybody. So unless somebody specifically asks me for an order form, but that digital host pack is so nice. So we used to have to spend a lot of money making copies to send that stuff to our hosts. So it's like, take advantage of the stuff that home office has taken the time to make for us. Okay. Okay, so we're going to talk a little bit now about the big ask. We call it like the hashtag big ask. And these are kinds of things that you should be like screenshotting and helping, getting help with from your director if you're not sure how to answer things. So that's what we kind of use as like the big ask method. So this is going to drop up interest and share information. So you're going to be creating a desire with your hosts, have them make a wish list of everything that they want. Look for rock stars in your groups. That's huge. Like the people that are answering all the questions. I mean, you guys know, start having conversations with those people. You just never know what it's going to lead to. You have to have the desire to recruit, because when you have that desire, it's going to show and they're going to see the excitement for your business. Share your story in all your groups or your parties, really is what that should say, in all your party groups. Make sure that you have that, what your why is and what your story is somewhere in your party outline. And that's another one that you could actually do a video for. Are you having intentional recruiting conversations? Things, saying things like, have you ever thought about giving Pampered Chef a try? I always like to say, I wouldn't be doing my job if I didn't ask you if you've ever thought about giving this a try. It kind of makes you, if they're like, oh, no, then it kind of is just like, well, you know what? I wouldn't be doing my job if I didn't at least ask. Make a goal of having 3 one-way conversations on recruiting in your party. So make sure that you're trying to reach out to at least 3 people a party. Tell your host that they have hit kit credit levels during their party. When they reach a certain level, they're going to hit the $25 kit credit. When they reach a certain level, they're going to hit the $50 kit credit. Make sure your hosts are aware of that, because that can be, especially if they're, it's something that they might have objecting a little bit, maybe because of the cost of the kits or something. You can be like, hey, you could get a kit for free. Make sure you're sharing that info. Do an ask me anything post in your party. And if someone asks you something that you're not sure how to answer, that's when you can take a screenshot and send it to your director, and we can kind of help you with those words. Okay. So screenshot conversations and ask for help from your director. This will help you learn how to answer. And it does. Over time, things are just going to start clicking and you're going to be able to answer things on your own. Don't answer too soon. It looks like work. Like you work too much if you answer too soon. Like, don't be like, boom, 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 the minute you see a message come in. People just think then that you're on your phone all day long, and you want to make it, some of us might be on our phone a lot like that, but you want to make sure that, you make it look like this job is doable. People, I think too, are always blown away when they realize that a lot of us use posting services. Because, I've had people say to me too, I can't be on my phone all day. I have another job or this. And I'm like, I'm not on my phone all day, blah, blah, blah. So make sure you're sharing things like that. Validate people's concerns and offer solutions, and then follow up with a question, how does that sound? Or would you like to know more about that? Something, stuff like that. Those are kind of follow-up questions. Make sure that they know that they're not alone, that you're going to help them with their first party, or, you and your director can talk about how you guys are going to handle that. Figure out what their needs are the most. Why would they think that they might want to do this? Is there a concern that they have about, or not a concern, but do they have they need to make a car payment every month, or they want to set aside enough money so much for a trip? Find out what is it that's kind of getting them interested in giving something like this a try. So figure out what that is, and then find out maybe what could be holding them back. That was, I think Sarah told it one other time in this story. I'm just using Sarah as an example because she was like my best one with that. I think I talked to her for 3 months at least, I think it was. And I finally just said to her, like, what do you have to lose? Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's like, just find out what's holding them back, because then you can get to the grit of it. Okay. So you can kind of do this like interviewing too. Ask if they have questions, or do they just need to know how to get started? Sometimes too, we can kind of throw up all over them because we think that they need to know all this stuff, but you should really start with, so I just want you to, I just want to know, do you have questions about what we do as consultants or about the business, or do you just need to know how to get started? Like sometimes they literally might just need to know where to go on your website to click the consultant agreement. So don't be afraid to ask that question, because you could overwhelm them, and throw up all over them with information. So, if they do have some stuff though, these are things, if they're still kind of like, I'm not sure, I want to know more about this, you can even ask them questions like, what interests you the most about Pampered Chef? And somebody might say the flexibility, or, oh my gosh, I would love a vacation. Find their reasons out. Ask them if they've ever done anything like this before. Sometimes people have had bad experiences with direct sales. And so, sometimes that's something that's a topic that comes up, and you want to assure them that we have a lot of really great resources, and we're going to help them with their business. Ask them how much money they'd like to earn. Most of the time, most people, the majority of people are probably doing this to make some extra money. So that is kind of, a really good place to, or a really good question to ask them, because then you can kind of know how many shows maybe they might need to do to get that income level that they want. Would you be interested in doing virtual or all virtual parties or cooking shows too? Some people didn't even realize that we can just do this completely virtually. We don't have to do cooking shows if we don't want to. Asking them which kit popped out at you, like which one of the kits did you think was good? And what other questions do you have? Is there anything else holding you back? And then my last question is when do you want to get your first paycheck, or something simply like, what do you think? Are you ready to get started? Hi, Connie. She's just jumping on for the meeting. Okay, so we're going to just bold through this real quick. So there's behaviors of recruiting, and you want to ask your host. We always used to say 5 times, but actually 6 times. So I will make sure that in your homework, this graphic is in there so you can see this. But the big thing is to be asking them several times throughout their party. But if you have parties booked from those, that particular show, it's a really good idea before you start their friend's party, ask them one more time and say, hey, I'm getting ready to start, Brenda's party on Friday. Are you sure still that you don't think you want to give this a try? I want to give you that one more option to, give it a try before I start their friends' party. So sometimes that might be their final, they might go, oh my gosh, I think I'll go ahead and give it a shot. Okay, so don't freak out, you guys. It's just a conversation. So we're still working on your skills. Skills are such a major part, or component of your success. The more you tweak your skills, the more you learn about selling, host coaching, booking, recruiting, and the better your business is going to be. The bigger the skill, the bigger the paycheck. So everyone can fix different things in their business at any time. So practice recruiting with a friend. You might just end up recruiting them. Develop your why about your business. Study those questions I shared. I can list those out too, so we have them in that document. Watch and listen to home office trainings. Come to team meetings and recipe nights if you're in the area. Go to conference. Listen to Teach Me webinars. The Teach Me webinar this month is going to be about sharing. Read books on recruiting and sharing. Direct Selling for Dummies is a really good book for that. Watch YouTube trainings, do lots of shows, and you'll get better sharing with every party. So your skills are easily taught and they're easily caught. So you can do this. So who has questions? I think we've only got one person that jumped in. Who is somebody in the chat? I'm using host coaching on my party. Oh, awesome job, Ellie. So you're going to start implementing host coaching. That's great. So just let Dom know if you have questions and stuff, or, any of us, you can always reach out. But does anybody have any questions? Trying to see. I think everybody's muted right now still, so.
I'm good. I don't have any questions.
Okay. Thank you. Okay, so. If this is gonna, okay, so we are going to listen. I'm giving you, don't like freak out because I'm giving you 3 things, because one of them's like 7 minutes, one of them's like 5, and one of them is like another like 7 or 8 minutes. So Stacy Itzel is going to, she's a national executive director, and she's going to walk you through some really great little trainings on recruiting. So one's going to be called the conversation piece, one's going to be called the fortune is in the follow-up, and the other one is offering the business to your host. So I think you guys are going to really like those, and your homework will kind of be based on those questions, and you'll discuss that with your director. Okay. So I will put those interview questions in that document too. And then was there something else I said? I'll go back and look and see if there was something else I was supposed to add in there. And Crystal, I'll send you a voice text or a voice clip. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
So you can
I
do
can't
that.
wait.
If anybody else wants a voice clip, let me let me know. I can talk on your messenger, but no, I can get, so you can kind of see what it looks like when it pops up. So Sarah always throws me for a loop when she sends me one, because then I feel like I have to respond back that way. So it's just one of those silly things. I'm always like, oh, and I should do it more. I should. So I'm going to stop sharing this. And what I'm going to do here is I'm actually going to